this, and you've been a key part of a building team, and I have another bottle with some sand in it. Hopefully this will, you can bring Velva along too. So, I know she got her hair done for this, so. So you two can pour this together with Alyce and kind of finish filling this up for us, okay? So everyone that was at the praise party got a bottle with 4 tablespoons of sand, and they added their sand, and it worked out quite beautifully. All right. Very good. All right, yeah. So Alyce is using a big part of this. We give you your own bottle. And that bottle was, and these other bottles were found from the sinkhole and the construction site, and these are old bottles from the 1900s, early 1900s. So, thank you. So using that bottle image, we'll talk a little bit about just where we've been in the last few years. This is like the next paragraph, but we started out in 2013 with Rise Up, the first pledge deal, and we came up with 624 pledgers, and they pledged $674,000. Okay, so let's go on. What happened with the non-pledgers and the pledgers, we actually went over 124%, $165,000 over that. And so that meant we didn't have to borrow as much, or we had a little bit extra money to do something else with. So now where are we today? I guess we're gonna just go through these, honey. I don't have them listed for me. So the construction actually began July 1st, 2015. That was the first digging they did, and then they went a little deeper. And then finally, you'll see a picture of how deep they actually went. Next slide. So this is right outside the back fire escape door. I think we're down, Scott, you know how many feet? I'd say 15, 20 feet, something. You know, Scott, you don't have a 15? I know, so we had to go down about 15 feet, so we got down to solid ground, so we didn't end up with a sinkhole or a sinking church. But keep going. And so the steel came in November, and at that time, that was the end of the Rise Up campaign, and so we went right into another one. We had a 2-week hiatus, or 3-week, and went into Rise Up Higher. And we had 116 people pledged, and notice we're almost $100,000 less on the pledges, but maybe that's because we didn't have the SCS, or who were the name of? Enjoy helping us, but anyway, we did it ourselves and came up with $579,000 pledged. So keep going. Oh, the cross, in April, the cross got put up and the building was coming pretty far along. They were almost finished by August. Next slide. You can see they're almost done. At August of 2000 what? 16. Okay. So then after that, they did get all done, and then we waited for the gas company all summer. And finally, in August, that if you can't read it, it's our occupancy, final inspection was August 28th, 2017, and that's when we were allowed to go in the building. So now we're in the building, okay? So how do we stand financially with that? The 116 pledgers, as of the end of October, and I just kept it at that. I had the figures for last Sunday, but we already paid Berkeley, and I know how much is in the, it's just easier to keep the figures solid. So we have given the pledgers gave a $385,000, which is 67% of their pledge. And a balance, if they would go to 100%, would be $194,000, almost $195,000. Okay, go on. The non-pledgers, people that are giving faithfully, but they didn't pledge, there's 119 of those. I don't know if all 119 are giving faithfully, but they have given $62,000, nearly $63,000 without pledging. That makes a total of 78%. Next slide. So all total, we have $447,000 been given these last 3 years, or last year and a half, and of that amount of pledge. So we're at 78%. Okay. Next slide. Let's see. So here's what the facts are. Where we stand. I updated these from the praise party. And we now owe the bank, or the United Methodist Development Fund. We still haven't set a mortgage up. And it looks like to me, if we're getting this close, maybe we won't. But we still owe them $326,000. We paid Berkeley completely in full. We don't know anything else right at the moment. So that's the total that we owe. We were allowed to borrow up to $800,000 according to our church conference vote. And so this is where we stand now. Next slide. So if the pledgers would pledge at 100%, they would give another $194,000. And in our building fund right now is $67,800. Now I know some of that has been promised to the trustees for furnishing some of the rooms, and that could get a little, we could spend some of that. But so anyway, there's a potential that by the end of 2018, when the Rise Up Higher campaign's done, we could have $262,000 available. Okay, but every month we're sending the Rise Up Higher money in, and we're paying down the debt every month. Okay, all right, next slide. All right, so when I did the praise party a couple months ago, the negative number, it was $63,500. So now it went negative, it went wrong. You see that? So we've added $300. One other thing that I'm not telling you about is that every month we're paying $1,300 in interest. Now I know we're paying it down, so we're paying $1,300 now, and by the end of 2018, hopefully we're paying zero interest, so it will go down. But between now and then, we're looking at probably $10,000 worth of interest that we're going to be eating too, okay? But it looks like to me, if the Rise Up Higher campaign comes back just at 100%, if the non-pledgers and the pledgers come through strongly and we go $165,000 over again, that'd be great. But anyway, we owe $325,000, we could get that, so it looks like we're going to be we could be $63,000 in the hole by the end of 2018. Okay, let's go on. All right, the rest of the story, I know this is, I just shared. We are ready to do a roof this year, and I think we've put money back the last 3 years, and we should be pretty close to having that amount of money right in the budget. We might be a little short. We still have some furnishings for the buildings, ongoing maintenance, and expanded outreach, so there's always room for more, And finally, what we need to do, the pledgers need to finish well. The non-pledgers need to either pledge or continue to faithfully give as non-pledgers. That's fine too. Okay, I think that's so. Let's go on one more slide. Oh, okay, and the last paragraph there is, as you know, we did host the Wesleyan Covenant Association simulcast on October 14th. And we had a few people from our church and some from other churches came. And then I will go on Monday with Dawn Beam and my wife, and I'm not sure who else is going, to Harmony Xenopolis, where they're having a WCA organizational meeting for Western Pennsylvania. So we'll see what that turns out to look like. But that's what I can tell you so far. All right, next slide. This was one I was going to show right at the end of the vision, and I guess I skipped over it. But everyone kept asking me what my vision was for the building. What's my vision for the future? What's my vision? What's my vision? And I kind of really started seeking the Lord. And it's funny, I get my visions in computer pictures. But so this was kind of my vision, that Jesus is behind it all with his hands out saying, come. And there's a church with people going in and out, and you can't tell if they're coming or going. And you can't tell whether Jesus' hand is saying, come or go. And I really think that's what the church is. We come to him, and we find healing, transformation, and empowerment, and a relationship, and our windows get cleaned, and then we go. Yeah. And so that's kind of my vision, and we'll be kind of working on goals and future coming in very quickly. All right, that's my 35 slides. I think that's it. Okay, is there any more, darling? No. Okay, there we go. Review reports.
Thank you.